Are they giving you fact or are they giving you fear? Are they giving you definitive, substantial conclusions? Or are they giving you loosely based, one anecdotal, one anecdote based conclusion? Scientists have identified a new strain of the coronavirus. Cool, mutations are happening. The coronavirus strand has evolved, as it's probably always evolved. Scientists have identified a new strain of the coronavirus that appears to be more contagious. This is the part where you get worried, right? Oh, they got a new strain of, to the common fan, to the common reader. Oh, they have a new strain of coronavirus that is more contagious. The common person might just wipe out that appears. When you say it appears, this becomes more conjecture. That means scientists have identified a new strain of coronavirus that looks to be more contagious, not is more contagious. So that new strain could be nothing to worry about. But again, we have the article. And when I say loosely based on evidence, let's read it. Scientists have identified a new strain of coronavirus that has become dominant worldwide and appears to be more contagious than the versions that spread in the early days of COVID-19 pandemic, according to a new study. As I told you, according to the new study is the most important shit on here. Now let's go see that new study, as I've already put it up on a slide. Let's just take a look. Here's the new study, right? Done by Cold Spring Harbor Laboratory. But look, they have a disclaimer out the gate. Let's read the disclaimer. Because again, this is their surmise. Spike mutation pipeline reveals the emergence of a more transmissible form of SARS-CoV-2, which is what we call COVID-19. Spike mutation. So something in the spike of the coronavirus little thing that they look up in the microscope is a mutation, and they're assuming that that makes it more transmissible through this anecdote. But look at this, the fine print. BioRxiv is receiving many papers on coronavirus SARS-CoV-2. A reminder or a disclaimer: these are preliminary reports that have not been peer-reviewed. So the difference between empirical and anecdotal: empirical means peer-reviewed and many scientists have confirmed it, substantiated. This is not that. This has not been peer-reviewed. They should not be regarded as conclusive, guide clinical, practice health-related behavior, or be reported in news media as established information. They said this should not be reported in news media as established information, or it shouldn't be relayed to the public as anything because it's not conclusive. Yet, this is what they say right here in their own article, but they have it in the little blue words because most people probably not gonna click this little blue thing that says according to the study. But if you see again, let me go back. If you see again, when it says they've identified a new strain that may be more contagious, it's based on a loose study. Please, let's read again. The reports have prelim reports, early reports, not been peer-reviewed, should not be regarded as conclusive, guide clinical, practice health-related behavior, or be reported be reported in news media as established information. I feel like that's what they're doing. It's in the LA Times, and it's in the KTLA reported it. KTLA, LA Times, all owned by Nexstar. So maybe you could do your research on them. But let's see what else this article has. They already warned you that their assertion was based on loose science, that this new strain appears to be contagious. Let's see what else they got. Okay, the new strain appeared February in Europe, migrated quickly to the East Coast. So the new strain's been for a while, according to them. In addition to spreading faster, which is allegedly, it's not true that it's completely transmissible. It appears transmissible. Big difference. It may make people vulnerable to a second infection after a first bout with the disease. So now they're saying the new strain may make you prone to a second infection. More on that later because this is very interesting. Very interesting that they say this will make, if you already had it, this might make you get it again. Very interesting. Okay. 33-page review to express that a new mutation means that the vaccines that we're putting out right now may not be effective for the mutated strain, as you see right there. It quickly infected far more people than earlier strains that came out of Wuhan, China, and within weeks it was the only strain that was prevalent in some nations, according to the report. So it might be the more effective strain. I'm not saying it isn't. The new mutated strain might be the most common strain now. Predecessor demonstrates that it is more infectious, according to the report. But again, their report is loosely based. And if it is more infectious, still doesn't say it's more dangerous. Remember, a built-up immune system, non-compromised immune system, no matter what mutation it makes, it ain't fucking with your healthy ass body. Okay, hold on. Computational analysis of more than 6,000 corona sequences. So that's where the science comes from the global initiative of sharing all influenza data. Might want to click that. Time and again, the analysis found a new version of transitioning was to become dominant. Okay, hold on. Let's see what else they got. Focused on a mutation called DG1B4, which is responsible for the change in the virus's spike. So that's the alleged mutation, which makes it more transmissible. I'm not the scientist on viruses, so I can't substantiate that. I'm just depicting the language in this article. Okay. When viruses with the mutation enter a population, they rapidly begin to take over a local epidemic, thus they are more transmissible. Somebody's statement. Somebody said, don't be disheartened, but this is sad news with the impact on transmission. So a lot of fear again. That's why I say fear or fact, because it's a cause for concern to the public again. And I feel like that's why they're making these articles, because if there's a mutation and you don't want to alarm the public and it hasn't been potentially dangerous, again, you're saying, okay, another mutation is out, so this is another reason to stay in the house, another reason to not open shit back up. And if y'all been following my channel, this is the third time I've posted an article or a news channel saying that we should worry again. Okay, hold on. Doctors began to independently question whether new strains of the virus could account for differences in how it has infected, sickened, or killed people. Speculating recently they were seeing at least two strains of the virus, one prevalent, looking to identify the mutation. So they can't really identify it again. Does not indicate that the new virus is more lethal than the original. So it's not more lethal. So there's no cause to feel like you're in more danger. More transmissible, possibly based on a loose study. Okay, hold on. Even if the new strain is no more dangerous than the others, it could still complicate efforts to bring the pandemic under control. So they're saying this is a cause for concern again. That would be an issue if the mutation makes the virus so different from the earlier strains that people who have immunity to them would not be immune to them. See, this is where I want to revisit that they're saying the new strain might make people who already got it get it again. However, they had reports earlier this week about antibodies. I think I talked about that. Antibodies, saying that antibodies now from people who got the COVID the first time, antibodies may not be just in having them immune to it from now. But how we've known antibodies to be, that's what they do. Once you get a disease or you get infection, you have the antibodies to now fight that same infection. So they're saying people do have immunity to them because they got it. But they told us antibodies didn't work. So now they lying. One way or the other. They told us antibodies wasn't substantial, and now they're saying people who have immunity. And how do you get immunity? When you get the illness. Okay. If that is indeed the case, it could make individuals susceptible to a second infection. Y'all told us that they still might be susceptible to a second infection. So this new information says now that they're susceptible. So what did them antibody studies say? The antibodies actually worked? Y'all just reported them unsubstantiated last week. But now y'all saying people are not susceptible. It's contradictory. Okay. Let me see if there's any more. Oh no, that's the end of the article. Ralph Vartabedian. But yeah, man, again, is it fact or fear? The whole headline is predicated. The whole headline is predicated on this study, which already tells you it's inconclusive. That's what you need to know mainly. They should not be regarded as conclusive, guide clinical practice health-related behavior, or be reported in news as established information. But yet you have it on the LA Times. Established information to me. It's your boy Dame. Let me know your thoughts, your comments. They are sick, man. Mainstream media is sick. And Nexstar is owned by another billionaire you don't know. And again, Nexstar owns what? Probably 100 TV stations and 100 newspaper stations. It's your boy Dame. Let me know your thoughts and your comments. They pumping fear in us, boy.